Now let's find out what's messing up. Hey, Wolves Den. Hopefully you can hear me and things are not too screwy. At least we know that that chat program is working. Time for an audio check. No. Fine, I'll search for what I can find. Not too bad. I'm just trying to find out how badly everything is all screwed up since I had to reset everything. Good. Let's get audio. Hey, Belinda, how we doing? I suppose I should also make sure that the chat is reading through there. Good, fantastic. Okay, so things are not that bad. Good. All right, don't need this then. Yeah, I spent the last hour or so just cleaning the craft room. Just wanted to start up again. Don't need you. Shouldn't throw you far away. Hey, Joey. How are we doing? Yep, it's summer vacation time from school, so now is the time to get ourselves back in the saddle, as it were. As much as possible. And get built up for all the stuff that I want done on Halloween, which this year is going to be a lot, and an absolute lot of can't brain tombstones. This year is going to be very, very tombstone. Fur balls are good. Sam was losing some fur on the inside of one of his legs. Made me a little bit concerned. But he's not showing any signs of problems, and they're not showing any kind of health effects like not eating or anything like that. So I'm guessing it's okay. He's a pretty resilient little fuzz face. Majesty is chunky, as always. I got my stone carving rig out again. And it was really nice to get that going. The only offside of the stone carving rig is that it's got to be done outside and it needs water flow for the lapidary. But otherwise, no big problem. So I would like to make some rune rocks for the display, which is what I am screwing with right now. But then what I want to do is get some UV curing resin, fill in all the spots on my rune rocks. Let's see if I can make them a little bit fancier. I have been. And that's going to be tombstone, tombstone, tombstone. And I've got 2 pumpkins at least that can get done well in advance of the holiday season. And I gotta see if I can invent anything new and fun I haven't seen too many crazy interesting bits on the Halloween forums, so nothing on there has been too inspiring of new projects. One person was talking about fluorescent fog, and that has a host of issues attached to it. But I was wondering if it would be possible to put quinine in some water and then use a ultrasonic evaporator to make glowing fog. Downside is that, you're sucking in quinine. But while quinine's not bad, the devil is in the dose. Certainly no kids coming by will have trouble, but if you're there breathing in glowing fog all night, it's one of those things where it just may not be worth it. We'll let some chemist go nuts trying to figure out that problem. Rather than develop a new syndrome called Haunter's lung. Feels good to be in the craft room again. Hello, Arthur. How you doing? So how have you guys all been? It's been a bit since I think last time I was streaming on was back in Christmas time. Anybody have new and interesting tales? Hey, Bloodflap. Yep, summer break. I'm back at it. Got to get everything done for the upcoming Halloween season. Oh, and this is also a test to see if my CPU overheats and goes nuts. Just FYI, in case I should disappear suddenly. That's why. Slow motion water. How long ago was that one, Mudflap? And was that the is that the one with fog on Plymouth Reservoir? Let's go to my channel. Yeah, the last one I have for here was Holiday Crafting. Let's check Dragon's Eye Aerial. Oh, Facebook. Oh, okay, yes. Thank God. Like, I haven't posted a video. Yes, I thought that one was pretty nifty. Yes, indeed. They did some beautiful stuff with the high-speed cam. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I forget that some folks have my Facebook. One person I'm pretty sure has deleted me recently when I met from Pumpkin because they are and we disagreed on Roe v. Wade. Yeah, some folks have definitely been there since the earliest pumpkining videos. I thought I had 6 stones. And these are standard witch stones with a glyph, and they've all been carved into rock with a diamond head burr. Whereas I wanted a simple project to warm up on with my rock carving rig. I used to do more complex animals, but I figured first time having it out in about 3 years, how about we just do some simple Halloween shapes. Wow, Arthur, you are brave. That's awesome. I'm glad you've been able to use the info to make your stuff. There have been a couple of folks who have gone for some very large pumpkins. I have to be careful just because it's going to be something I can get through a doorway. Now I was very silly and bought some huge beach balls, but then I realized that if I macheted them, they couldn't leave the room. Okay. Yeah, it's one of the best spots to do them. I've thought about doing projects in the garage myself, but my garage just doesn't have snot for electric hookups. One of my projects this year is to hire an electrician, if I can, to get out there and get that going, because God, it's just been awful and annoying. I want one outlet on each wall and an overhead outlet as well. What'd you use for glue, Joey? I've broken at least 3 stems. The solution I find is this epoxy. because this will really hold all the stuff together. Okay, so you use two-part epoxy. The next step then is to find the spot where you got the crack, because presumably you've got the two-part epoxy is coating it and covering it. Just get some white paint on there and just take it back up through the steps. Anything around it will maintain the standard dry brush pattern, assuming you did that. So if you take that spot that's got the crack, you just grab a little sandpaper and scuff up that resin so you've got a better hold. Throw some white on the crack, then take it through. If you did a dark pumpkin, take it through a black, but take it back through the color phases, and it will mostly do what it is. It'll be smoother in that area, and you won't get as much texture, but anybody walking by on Halloween night won't have a freaking clue. That's the way to do it. Because usually you got a discolored line of white paper fiber in there, assuming the crack follows the usual steps that I've seen cracks follow. Let's see. And let me know if I don't quite have a good enough descriptor of how it's handling based on your particular case. Alright, good. If it's really not working, then take a picture of it and shoot it over to the Unhallowed Facebook. Post it on there so I can take a look at what you're dealing with. But generally that's the fix that I use. UV resin must be as thick as molasses. Wow. Are we even in the cap here? Doesn't seem like it. What the hell? Something's wrong. Awesome. Thanks, Arthur. I look forward to looking at it. What the hell? This UV resin is practically cured in here. It's in a black container, for heaven's sakes. Good Lord. Excellent. I'll have a look at that in a second. Yeah. I'll fight this UV resin for a minute. What the actual smeg? I use this stuff one time. Careful here, I do not want resin goop on my hands. If I can help it. Ugh, this is awful. Stuff's half cured. Snarl Growl. I guess I used this one time. It's in a frickin' black plastic container. There's no way. No way it should be in this stage of curing. Well, I haven't been having too much bad luck with resin. In fact, I've been having some fun times with resin gems for crazy projects, but this is supposed to be UV. I got it initially to put on the side of my glasses because the stuff was like sandpaper tearing my face apart. But that is really annoying. This one's cured. Or as cured as makes no minds. I'm not going to try to break my face doing that one. That's really aggravating. Oh well. This one feels okay. But I not follow the directions right? What the heck? Curing time, blah 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 blah. Low odor, self-loving, high gloss. Oh. Well, let's find out if my little black light here will do curing. I had planned to try this with an actual project, but since I have some half-cured slime here, I may as well test it out with that. Alright, let's see if that works. Echo, set timer for 5 minutes. This stuff hasn't really been exposed to heat or anything either. I mean, worst case scenario, I spent $50 on a little UV flashlight. Yay! Hey Mars, how we doing? What a day. Okay, well, let's try the other one, and yeehaw! Pair of nippers. There we go. It's a nice, incredibly tiny aperture. I kind of limit the atmospheric exposure. Maybe I just made a bad purchase, you know? Maybe. Uh-oh. You know, it's not supposed to grab. Somebody's about to get downstarred on the Amazon real bad. Yeah, this is half cured. Where's that? All right, let's make a quick little quick little vert de ferk this. Okay, I have just cracked this one open. Here is the lid from the top, and the inside material is kind of half cured already, which is very odd because I just opened up. It's like a big blown of rubber in there. I had expected the resin to be somewhat smooth, but it is somewhat cured. It's a rubbery mass instead of a smooth pour, so FYI for this brand. Alright. Let's see if we can save somebody else on the Amazons from making a bad purchase. Let's see if we can get any kind of pour out of this. There may be enough liquid resin in there to come on out, but I'm very, very displeased. This should be leaking out. Come on. Alright, so don't use this brand. Jesus. It's like rubber cement. It's awful. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Quick follow-up, this is what I squeezed out with the nozzle. So, first time used, just uncorked, and this thing is half cured already with an absolutely unusable sludge coming out. Woot! Alright. Hey, maybe I'll get my money back. See if we can get the sludge ball out. I'm guessing there's a little bit of material in there that can be used, but I gotta get that sludge ball out. I still want to do my project, damn it. Switch. Alright, sludge ball. Look at this goo baby. Oh my god. It's supposed to be 50 grams of resin in here. I would not be surprised if that was most of it. Oh, what the hell, may as well make a complete little video. Alright, so I extracted the goo baby that was in there, and that was what was in my unsealed resin container. So, buyer beware, maybe yours will be better. Somebody's gonna get saved from that. Well, let's put this under the UV light and see if it cures. I'm very surprised, honestly. On the plus side, that UV seems to be curing this very well, which is excellent. I mean, I wasn't expecting super brand because this is the this is the off-brand stuff, but I certainly was expecting something that was usable. Let's see if we can. There's got to be some still in there. It can't all have been transformed into a giant booger. A beautiful crystal booger. There we go. Okay, fantastic. So let's try this again. Nope. We got booger in there. This is extremely. I need to pour. Come on. Hit booger again. You know, you may as well have some fun and try to cover this whole face of the dark dice then. Another booger. I am trying to make some dark glyph stones. And I have these glyph dice that I made a while ago. So the idea is to carve the stones and get some glyphs in there. I'm really getting resin in my hands. Like this UV resin is not something that you want on your hands. I will hold up a stone in just a second. Just put this under the UV. There we go. Okay, let's do a couple of things. First is be health conscious. If you're health conscious, I don't want this resin on my hands. So, give it a wipe down with isopropyl. Isopropyl is pretty good at dissolving resins. Better. All right. Here's what we're making. These are some Glyph stones that I wanted to get painted. Yeah, there we go. Painted. And then I wanted to fill the carved part, because that's all carved stone that I did with my diamond burr. I wanted to get that painted and then filled with resin so I could get a smooth, nice overlay to it. However, the resin, as we've been seeing here, has been less than cooperative. All I've gotten out of it is a 1-star Amazon review. But if it is going to be this goopy and unpredictable, then I'm going to gird up for it. Another aspect of this is kind of that I wanted a warm-up project. I didn't want to be like, hi, I haven't crafted in forever. Let's jump right in with something incredibly complicated. I wanted something to be like, hey, this is easy. We'll just put some resin into some stone grooves. I mean, how hard can it be? It's just putting goop into grooves. Anybody can put goop into grooves. Oh my god, this stuff is atrocious. I mean, realistically, it would not be anywhere near as bad if the stuff wasn't half cured upon release. Because the first time I used this stuff just to fix my glasses, and it was fine. No biggie. But now, I don't know how in heaven's name it cured. A lot of resins are temperature sensitive, but this stuff has just been kind of sitting on my desk. There hasn't been any kind of heavy temperature moment for it at all. Now I've got some air bubbles in there. Ew. Pop. Pop, you little bastards. At the moment, I'm just kind of wondering if I can make the dark dice really cool. We'll see. One thing we're going to do is use up this garbage resin now. I do not want it if it's going to be trashy like this. Unfortunately, I don't think I have enough in here to... No, maybe I do. Not a lot left. Most of it has been used in these giant boogers. And although I do have UV reactive resin downstairs, it's for my resin printer and not for general use. Lesson learned. Muchísimo lesson. Store this upside down. Have some bubbles. This should be UV curing, so there really shouldn't be a lot of bubbles anywhere. On the plus side, though, if I can get this stuff working, then the dark dice will look awesome. Absolutely awesome. Because that really gives it kind of the finish I was looking for. Whereas before it was kind of woody. Let's see if we can get one rock done. I need yeah, let's just go. Let's go standard. Standard green. Let's pick the biggest, ugliest rock I've got. Pardon? Looks pretty dry. We'll see if we can see what one rock correctly done should look like. UV curing should have been ideal. Because generally that stops this stuff from running really fast. I wish I was really good at CNC milling. That'll be a next year project since we now have a CNC mill at work. run with that, and let's see if we can get better. Let's see, the sigil stone. Hey, you know, we're working on some sigil stones, and I was going to make it a much more in-depth project, but then I pulled a giant resin booger out of my UV resin source, and that kind of killed the project. Part of me wants to know if I can pull a giant resin booger out of this one. And both of these are very new. Very, very, very new. This is deplorable. There's another one in there. It's all up in the back. I'm guessing whatever plastic they have this coated with, just, I don't see how UV can get through it. It's solid black. Every bit of this is practically completely cured. Yep. This one bit is so cured that I can't even get it out. I mean, how do you sell this stuff on the open market with a clear conscience? Yeah. That one bit has my my stick end firmly embedded in it. It's not coming out. Jesus. Oh well. We'll send a review in and see if we can spare anybody else. I just need this one to dry, and then we'll use what had not been turned into a booger in this one to try to just see what the project would have looked like if it hadn't, you know, if it hadn't existed. I guess that means we will not need these brushes anymore this evening. Because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to resin up the barrel claw mask. Because I want to wear this for this Halloween. I'm sure as hell not wearing it with layer lines all over it. But I'm really glad this little UV light of mine is curing this stuff. Really, really glad. And that means these dark dyes are going to look great once I get some good UV resin. And get them done. Alright, that's the one that I'm not doing. Yep. Come on, try it. I figured I would have enough time on the regular project. By the time I painted all 6, the last one would be dry and ready for resin. But since we only have one that's going to get painted, it's going to take a while. Let's see if the boogers are cured. Oh Lord. Let's look at this thing. It was already 3/4 cured when it gooped out. At least it cures pretty strong. I can't snap that with hand strength. Let's cure the other booger. At least my other stuff is not UV resin. It is standard 2-chemical reactive resin. I'm sure there's a word for that, but I don't know it off the top of my head. I mean, it's almost pretty, but for the fact that it's kind of gross and gloopy. We should do another experiment. What we'll do is we'll take this one right here and we'll put the bottle under the UV light, and we'll see if this gets any harder on the inside. And if that's the case, then we know that this black plastic does not shield UV quite as bad or as well as they would have hoped. That should be good. Alright, let's throw this black plastic UV resistant bottle in there and see what happens. Alright, are you dry yet, damn it? I want to get going. Not quite yet. Let's dry it up. Dry it up using the dumbest means possible. Let's use all of our stupid. Incredibly stupid use of flame. Never use a plumber's torch to dry paint. It's dumb. It's marginally amusing and somewhat funny. Slurp some of that heat away. Oh, welcome to stupid night. Let's put that paint back. Alright. It's not so hot that I can't touch it. The other problem with it being warm is that heat is causing this resin to go. And this crap is going to cure the instant it hits the rock. Alright, here we go. Okay, I'll throw it under the UV. And let's take a little trip. Down here is the UV curing station, where hopefully, well, that is getting taken care of. Under about 3 to 4 minutes of direct UV, this resin should be completely cured. That is the hope. And it's worked pretty well so far. But it's just my regular blacklight setup with a couple of styrofoam enders to space it up, give it some room. Yeah. I heard a meow. Where's my cat? Madge. Sounds like a Madge meow. Same meows are squeakier and less frequent. Oh, I don't know where she is. Alright, let's set up for some resin that doesn't suck. Oh, there you are. Hi. Meow. Good girl. Okay. These guys away. So we can get some resin in that isn't garbage. It's also possible that that resin was just really, really old. But either way, it never should have been shipped. Craft supplies that come in that state are crap. Okay. Alright, I just want this here to be upright. This is the last nodule of usable resin. There it is. Down the squeeze tip, we're going to use the XTC3E resin. Now, I'm going to use the restroom real quick. So, pardon me, I'm going to put up the BRB screen. Be right back. Come on, kitten. Looked like my system was chonking a little bit on that animation. How much A to B? 2A to 1B by volume. Thank you. How much are we going to need to cover as much as we can paint? Unlike UV resin, this stuff is based on how concentrated the mix is. So if you have a lot of it in the bottom of a cup, it will react more rapidly. However, if you spread it out over a wider surface area, it will react more slowly. Well, that's why I've got this little tinfoil reservoir pen. Let's see how the rock turned out. We've got a bubble, that's annoying. But the rest is not too bad. Oh, there we go. And it's UV reactive paint. So it will glow in the Halloween UV zone. Not bad. Not bad. Could be worse, could be better. Still generically ticked at just how unusable that stuff was. Alright. If I remember on this stuff, a little went a long way. So let's... Viscosity's alright. Let's dump it right in here. This is going to cover a lot of material. Alright, I should have mixed it in a cup. For some reason, all of my YouTube stuff suddenly shorted out at like the worst possible time. Interesting. Well, it says I'm still broadcasting to YouTube. Unfortunately, the clock is ticking on my resin, so anybody from YouTube is trying to chat with me. I'm currently YouTube incognito. My apologies for that. But as I said, I am on a ticking clock for resin. If you do want to chat, apparently Twitch is still working, hopefully, and Facebook also seems to be still working. Or if anybody who's on YouTube still is watching, just say something and we'll see if this chat program reconnects. If I don't say much, it's because nothing's coming through. So far, nothing is coming through. Lovely. Well, sadly, I'm in the middle of a resin coat. This is what you get for trying to 3D print your own mask. plus sign, despite the fact that chat disappeared on me. This is looking tolerably good. Okay, not bad. And if anybody has joined on YouTube, I lost the YouTube chat. Thank you very much, XSplit. And that is why I may not be responding to any comments that are popping up. Believe me, I want to respond. I just can't see them because programs are stupid. I will try to rectify it, but at the moment my hands are covered in resin. And the annoying part about resin is you're on a ticking clock until it hits its cure. And it's starting to get there. Getting a bit goopy. Trying to find any spots that have not covered. Done. There. Not bad. The whole front of the head, which was pretty much the primary objective of this, is covered. And if I miss tiny spots, nobody's going to notice it. Spread out the drippings. Good. spots that I don't care about. Come off pretty good. Oh my god, it even sort of stands up on its own. Woohoo! Alright, let's see if we can reestablish chat. Ah, it's on here. Jesus. What did I miss? I missed Trav. Sorry. Alright. It's working on the frickin' thing here that shows the main screen, but not on the other one. Alright, let's go to the monitoring thing real quick. Let's see if we can... Finally! You'd think these programs would just work, but it seems like every single time. Every single time they get all scroobity-doobly on that. Oh, I had to refresh the little program and get rid of the HTML5 one. So I'm amazed this is standing up. That is so nice. And it's letting me catch a few of the little drip boogers. But I think the front of this mask is now going to be in good shape. You won't be able to see the manufacturer lines. Anything left in the 3D printing process. Can't really screw around with it now just because I'm not, oh, nope, I'm not out of goop. There's goop in here. There's goop in the corner. And it's really solidified. Ah! Hello, Chris. Didn't realize there was a little bit of caked in goop in the corner. There really wasn't a lot, though. Whoa. It's getting cured to a point now where if I screw with it too much, then I'm asking for trouble. So I'm just going to clock that thing in there, cover it up. And keep my hand clear of resin. Oh! Hey, my throat. Thank you, thank you. I think I'm mostly. I'm going to give my hands a good washing. End of the night. Certainly. It's a big problem with resin. Alright, well, that's going to cure for however long it's going to take to cure. Coating can be colored, sanded, or painted. Yeah. Alright. Good. That is in great shape. Am I on that little stick? Nope, I'm not. I'm on some truly magical, miracle piece of standy thing. Because I expected this thing to be. Thunk. Alright. So we have garbage now. Alright, let's see. Let's see how this turned out. This is the resin booger. I can't wait to leave a YouTube or an Amazon review on that. Sent me resin fluid and it turned into a booger on first opening. Let's see if our one that's been under the... Alright, this has been under the UV light and it is still loosey-goosey feeling. Well, the madness was supposed to be just some warm-up quasi-resin projects leading up to the big... Well, let's see. The big project for this year is going to be tombstones. So this was supposed to be a, let's clean the craft table, make sure the streaming works, get things going, and all of that. So unfortunately my UV resin turned into great big snotberries right out of the box, and I hadn't even opened them. The goal was to take these stones, which I had carved some sigils into, was going to paint the sigils white and then put the carvings and cover them with some UV resin, throw them in. This is the only one I managed to get done, diddly undone, done. And hopefully you may be able to see a little reflection from the resin on there. Yeah, that caught it a bit. So that on Halloween night, these could be out on a mysticky looking table, and they're all black light reactive. So these are supposed to be cheeky little bits. But we never got that far because my UV resin came out as snot balls. And that didn't work so great. But big projects will be tombstones. I decided to do the regular curing resin on this because I want to get going on this mask. I'm going to have to make a set of gloves, and I'm going to have to make some accoutrement for my costume, because this year we're going to go as Barrow Claw. That will be this fiendish face with a hood mask. I've got to do something for his eyes. I'm learning how to use Arduino to code lights. And that's the hope of the Halloween. But expect a lot of tombstone stuff. lot of tombstone stuff. We were looking over our haunt and just decided we have some big patches of not so much nothing, but not enough. There's nothing interesting in certain areas. So the plan is to cover them in some giant runestones, tombstones stuff. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. We also don't have quite enough tombstones. We had to get rid of our tiny little ones from several years ago because they were just absolutely falling apart. Wasn't enough left on them. Jeez, I really feel like my hands are still resin sticky. I really hate having UV resin on or near my skin. Yuck. I've got a couple of pumpkin balls. This one was like completely deflated earlier, and I reinflated it, but apparently this beach ball must have a leak. So I'm gonna pull it out because I don't fancy I still need to get a handful of coffee stirrers to put into one of these suckers to just let the air drain out without having to do the weird pinchy crap. So how have you been? What projects have graced you? In fact, anybody, what have you all been working on? Who's got Halloween stuff going on? This one is the 3-layer experiment. I wonder where the leak is on this thing. There's one I know, it's got like a piece of electrical tape on a leak, but this one doesn't. Maybe it's just a bad ball. I don't know if this one's the same size. This one is definitively not the same size. If I try to fill the ball with that one. Let's do it for science. What happens if you put too big a ball into one that popped? I kind of think this will still work. I hate when car problems kill out other stuff. My van right now is not in bad shape, but I suspect there are things wrong with it that will appear the next time I take it to the mechanic, and so I want to hold on because it's summertime, and that means I got my last paycheck a week or so ago, and I don't want it to vanish until I would get my next paycheck in September. Alright. Okay, that's not necessarily bad. Oh, the question is, of course, what happens when you put a beach ball that's too big in place of one that was collapsing, and you get this little sticking out. And, yeah, I have a feeling the inside is still well reinforced, though. If I threw clay on this, it probably wouldn't start collapsing. But I suppose we'll find out, because I'm going to leave this in there. Because that's a good for science moment. Oh, alright, is there anything else I can get done this evening? Got loads of trash. We can put this back. I suppose we could probably run a check on... I don't want to touch it. Ah! It's covered in resin. Just leave it alone. Alright. We have all of our foam curving goodies, which is good. We're going to need this one. We're going to need a hot knife. I think this will be the hot knife that we use. And the lettering we'll worry about when we get there. I'm willing to bet it's the fact that I am streaming to 3 services simultaneously. I'm on a new monitor, and I shouldn't say very recently, but within a close proximity of time, I should just say very recently, my CPU cooling system went kind of nuts. So I've got like 3 fans. Ew, my hands are covered again. I've got like 3 fans pointed into that thing in place of what should be one good CPU cooler, and consequently it is not doing its job the best. I should just look up what I need to replace it, order it, and gut the PC and throw a new CPU cooler in there so I can get back my freaking computer, because it's constantly overheating now, especially when I have a high intensity program like streaming to multiple sources. So the fact that it's choppy is probably related to that. Alright, but next time I'm on stream, because I'll probably end this one a little bit, there's not too much else I can do with this thing occupying the bulk of my project space. But next time you can bet we are going to do a lot, and I mean a lot, of tombstone carving. And probably quite a bit more of detail. Yeah. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to drop, I apologize for those folks on Facebook, if anybody's still watching there, and sorry Chris on Twitch. I'm going to drop those 2 streams to have the YouTube one primary. So if you're on and still watching, I'm probably going to log off pretty soon, but I want to see what happens when I break off the streaming power and have it only go to 1. So signing off Facebook first. In fact, let's see what happens when I break it down to simply 2. Bring that monitoring window back up. Alright. Do you notice a difference? Is it any better now, Mithril? Because now I'm only streaming to 2 services. And that should have hopefully recovered some processor power. If there's one thing I really don't want to do right now, it is have to get a better computer. Summertime is the worst for cash flow. A little better? Alright. Chris, I hope you can forgive me. I'm going to try to cut the Twitch stream and see if that improves it significantly. Alright, now I am only streaming to YouTube. Let's make sure, yes. Alright. And if the fates are kind, that should be much better. Because I'm only going out to 1 service. Used to be able to do 3 without a problem. It's not one thing, it's another. Rest assured, I will get to work on that. Okay. So streaming to only 1 seems to be a simple solution, at least for the time being. I'm going to get on top of that, find out what I need for processor cooling, and get that going. Excellent. I'm glad that's an improvement. If I have to, I will not stream to Facebook, but I do kind of like sending my stuff to Twitch. It's generally useful. And it's Tuesday, so it's not my virus protection. Alright. Good stuff. Well, I'm glad we found that out. I am probably going to sign off at this point because we've done all we can, sadly. I'd love to keep projecting, but if I start trying to do tombstone stuff, I'm going to knock this over and get resin goop all over me. I have to try to close up the project room because I don't want the cats hopping up tonight to see if they can do fun things with this blotchy resin bit. But plan on seeing me quite a bit more since school is out and I am free for the summer, and hopefully we'll get some mache craft stuff going because I really want to make another one of those big skeletons as well, and that will be a lot of fun. But good stuff. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we will catch you on the next one, which should be bloody soon because I'm going to be crafting like a craft hedgehog. And I don't know if hedgehogs can craft, but I bet they do, and I bet they do it a lot. It's going to be me. Take care, everybody. Have a fun night. Ah, yes. And, of course, this thing is a distant resolution, so I can't bring up my bye-bye screen. Ah, I hope this is the right one. All right, everybody. Oh my God. There, that's the one.